Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Super excited to chat with y'all tonight and hang out with y'all tonight. So go ahead and grab what you need, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds. All right. Hi, everybody. Happy to hang out with you guys tonight. Today is Wednesday, November 8th. I feel like this is one of those weeks, and I feel like I keep saying it when I'm out and about in different places. Like, oh, after this week, things will slow down. After this week, things will slow down. And then they don't slow down. And I'm like, okay, I'm almost to like holiday season. So I have had just like moments where I'm like looking at my calendar, like, oh my goodness, and I have to start saying no to certain things, and that breaks my heart because I want to do all the things. But anyway, if you are like me, I would invite you to look ahead and see what you can say no to, because it's so hard to be stretched so thin, and I know a lot of us are feeling that. And can we talk about the time change? Like, I just feel like I have been like slow moving this entire week, and it's like I can't get like caught up. It's funny, right? Like, we were supposed to have extra sleep, I think, right? Because we did it's like fall back, so you get more sleep, I think. I feel like I've gotten less sleep, and again, I don't know if it's because it's just dark now so early, and so that just kind of drains my energy. But oh, I am struggling. Is anybody else struggling with this? And it's not new, right? It happens every year, but I don't know. Y'all, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with it. But anyway, I'm excited to chat with you all tonight. Before we hop into our topic, though, I wanted to share that the Multilingual Illinois Conference is back. And so excited for it. But I will say to you, I was just chatting with some colleagues earlier this week. We are like reaching, I've heard, like max capacity. So don't pause, like run and get registered. I'm very serious. Like, they're about to like close it all. And I want to say it closes like officially this Friday, but I don't want us, I hope we don't close earlier than that. So we'll see. But get registered like now. And send whatever emails you need to send. But it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. So many cool sessions, it looks like. So I'm looking forward to that. I have 2 sessions, and I can't remember which days. And honestly, I don't even remember what topics off the top of my head. So anyway, I'm excited to be there, excited to hang out with everybody in person. I think it's going to be so wonderful. But yeah, get registered like today, like do it tonight. Anyway, tonight's topic is about gaming, playing games and multilingual learners. So I've been at a few events recently that have been talking about like gamifying instruction. And I love it. I love all of it. I think it's so valuable and so great. But I will tell you, like, honestly, that's not something I lean into very naturally. And I don't know if it's because I've been like suppressing a playful side of my life, or what. I'm not really sure what it is. So I have been trying to push myself to explore that just a little bit more. And I will say, here, let me pull it real quick. The Playful Life. Get it? So the authors here, it's Jed Dearybury and Dr. Julie Jones. First of all, this book is written so nicely, like you feel like you're just hanging out and talking to friends. But this book is beautiful. It's beautifully written. So they have the Playful Life, and then they also have the Playful Classroom, and they talk about play-based learning and just all of these different things. But in this book, they really talk about like incorporating play into your life more. And I just like, I find there's so many parallels. There's so many opportunities here, especially as we talk to like about multilingual students. And especially as we talk about supporting newcomer students, I just think there's so many possibilities. And I think a lot of us are kind of panicking almost. And I use that word intentionally. We're panicking because we are all experiencing a lot of new students, a lot of newcomers registering in our schools, which is wonderful. And I know, like, along with the panic, there's excitement and there's a lot of energy and buzz about it. And I think that's fantastic. But I think it can be, to borrow the words of my colleague Olivia, she always says it's like a both and, right? Sometimes when we panic, it's because we feel like we're ill-equipped, or we feel like we don't have structures and routines and systems set up to successfully serve our new students and their families, right? So I think the panic there is real, right? That's like a real valid human feeling. So it's not bad, but it's also encouraging us, right, to like network and talk to each other about like, okay, how do you do it in your district? How is your school doing this and all of those things? So one of the pieces, because people are asking me a lot, like, Carly, I don't even know where to start. Like, what do I even do? And sometimes people think like, I just have to like revamp everything I do. And I think there's some opportunity, right? But we also don't have to like throw out everything that we're doing. There could be some small moves to incorporate into our practice that can really better serve multilingual students, especially newcomers. But tonight we're talking about games. We're talking about gaming for multilingual learners, not just newcomers, but for everybody. So I want to share with you a few of them that I have pulled in front of me. So this first one, I've been chatting a lot about this when I do like workshops in districts and like at conferences and stuff. And this one is called Spot It. And I have a quick video clip because I wanted to walk you through a really cool tool that I found online. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up that video so I can play that. But this is like one of my new favorite things. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this video. Hi, everybody. I wanted to share a really fun and very cool tool with all of you. I've been talking a lot about this game in a lot of the workshops that I've been doing. It's called Spot It. Now, this is a game I will say that I have played. I started to play it with my own kids at home during the pandemic because, we were at home all the time. And so basically, when you play Spot It, and they have like a gazillion different like versions of this game, but it comes in like a little tin and you get like, I don't know how many cards. But on each of the cards, they have like all of these different little icons and symbols. And there's a few different ways that you can play the game. But the way that my family has played it is we pull like 2 cards and we set them on the table in front of us. And we have to figure out like, what is the match? What is the matching icons in these 2 cards? And whoever finds the match first, like calls it out or points to it, and then they get those 2 cards. So again, there's a few different ways you can play it. That's how we have played it. And so it's just a super, super fun game. And like I said, they have a lot of different versions of this. They have like an NFL version. They have like a Disney princess version, I want to say. But I get the little mini set on Amazon for like $5, I think. So it's like a fun little brain break, and I really like it, especially as we talk about serving and supporting multilingual students, because I think this is one of those games that can serve as a brain break, like, at the beginning or at the like middle of a lesson or anything like that. So I think it's great for a brain break. Or it can be like, a quick little energizer or warm up to kind of launch into like a period of work, right? So anyway, I really, really like Spot It. I think it is so linguistically inclusive for our students as well, because if we take a look back at those icons, I'm going to hold them up to the camera here and spin them around a little bit. Now, all of these icons in the original game, they're like just kind of random, right? They're not really like themed. Again, you can buy the themed ones. I just did not in this example here. But what I like about this is if you have newcomer students, they can still actively participate in this game because you can either, like, if you know the word, you can say the word out loud. If you don't know the word, you can point to the symbol. So again, it's like a nice linguistically inclusive game. But y'all, I want to share this with you because I think, again, as a fan of Spot It, I think there's a lot that we can do to incorporate our content into a game like this. Again, linguistically inclusive game. So when I do workshops, I often talk about the importance of adding a visual that is supportive of our content. And I always say, like, Google Images is out there, but a lot of times it's garbage because it's just pulling from everything online. So if I'm a person who says, like, oh, this is a hot dog, and I post that online and I say it's a hot dog, it might still, like, it might be a picture of a stapler, right? So it's not always accurate. And then, like, it's not very printer friendly too, right? So I really love websites like thenounproject.com and flaticon.com. You might also say Flaticon. But I learned about this one from a teacher, and she was sharing this with me, so I thought it was really great. But basically, these are printer-friendly icons. You can get them in black and white. Again, like ones that kind of look like this, or you can get colorful ones as well. So it just kind of depends on your need. These are great for, again, survival vocabulary or like content-specific vocabulary. So what I want to share with y'all is I loaded a whole bunch of icons from flaticon.com onto my desktop. Okay. And then I found this website because I was hungry for a generator. Like if I do bingo, like listening bingo or speaking bingo, like I have a go-to resource for that. But I was trying to find a Spot It generator. And I was searching online and I played with a few different ones, but I couldn't really find one that I love. But I found this one, and I have to say, I really do like it. And so this is the website up here. And if I go to the one that says upload images, here is what I can do. I can go ahead and just like all of those icons that I grabbed from that website, that flaticon.com. Now I'm just going to grab them all. And I keep them on my, what do you call it? My desktop, just for easy grabbing. But when I do that, take a look at what it does. So it has all of those like generated for me. And so then it gives me like a quick update. So Carly, based on what you just threw together here, you can generate 13 cards with 4 images per card. And then it says, oh, you've also uploaded too many images. So the last 4 are not going to be used. Or if I wanted to add 14 more icons, I could generate 31 cards, which sounds like a bigger stack. So that might be the route that I go. But again, if I were to say, yep, I want 13 cards, that's perfect for what I'm trying to do. It just grabs that as a download, and then take a look, y'all. Like, this is my Spot It game. So now what I can do with this is I can print this on cardstock, and I can cut out the circles, I can laminate them. But now I have like a really cool content specific game to play with my students throughout the unit. So again, in this example, I pulled a lot of math examples. So if I were designing this to support a math unit, I would enter in all of my content specific vocabulary and like, you know, get those all set. I might also throw in some like freebies, kind of like, I don't know, like the Chicago Bulls logo or a picture of our principal or whatever, like just some little freebies, right? So that it still feels like a game, like it's fun. And then we play the game. And then again, while students are playing, they're not only like looking at those images, they're trying to tie those images to the vocabulary that they've learned. And so it's just reinforcing that vocabulary, right? So I think there's just a lot of different possibilities with this. So after you play the game, or maybe you play it a few times throughout the unit, I think this could be a really cool moment too, where now we have like these little mini visual banks. And again, students might be able to take these and then like annotate them later. Or maybe they have to like grab one of these one circles and they have to do some writing that incorporates some of those images just to kind of stretch out our language. But again, I think there's just so many possibilities with this tool. So again, I would love to hear how you use it or other games that you play with your multilingual students, especially now that we're going into winter season. I think it's important to just keep opportunities alive for some of those energizers, for more novelty, all of those things. So I'd love to hear how you use this tool or other tools. Thank you. All right, so that was the quick video, but again, love the Spot It games. I think they're a lot of fun, lots of opportunities there. So I'll also share this. So this one is a game that I picked up on, I think, Amazon, but this one is called Sussed, the wacky would you rather game. And like, I don't know if I love it yet. I haven't played around with it enough, I think, to really be able to tell. And now I can't even get it open. But it's like, it's that basic idea of like a would you rather type of scenario. So on each card, they give you a whole lot of these. They come in a few different stacks. And then there's like, I didn't even read, there's like a few different ways to play the game too. But on the back of the card, that's where you find all of like the would you rather. So like this one is an example that I'll share. It says, a night to remember. I'd rather spend a night A, in a hammock at the top of the world's tallest tree, B, at a museum that comes to life, or C, inside the enchanted walking pub. So I don't know. I think there are some really cool possibilities with this, and I think there's a few different ways you can play it. For me, I would probably just use the prompts as like an attendance question or as a brain break opportunity. But I like the name of it. I like that it's called Sussed, and it says on the back, over 600 wacky answers for conversations you've never had. So that's one that you might check out. Maybe not. Another one is one that I know I've mentioned in this space on Wind Down Wednesday a few times, and this is like Jenga or off-brand Jenga. I have a few sets of these, and I get mine from Five Below just because they're cheaper. But I just got this one, and I like it because it's got colors on it, and y'all know I really like color. But what you do with this is you take it and you label with like a Sharpie all of the blocks, all of the pieces. So there's 48 that come in a set. So I would take a marker, again, Sharpie, and then just write out the numbers. And now I have 48 labeled blocks. So I got this idea from Amanda Sandoval, and I'm going to hold up her Twitter account here because I want to make sure I give her the credit. On her link tree, she's got templates for all of these things. But her name is Amanda Sandoval, and her handle on Twitter is @HistorySandoval. And she is in SoCal. She's in Southern California. She is a high school history and ethnic studies teacher. So she's got a lot of really cool things. Her whole link tree, she gives you like a link to her Google Drive folder with a bunch of different templates. It's outstanding. So that's where I pulled this from. I heard her speak at a conference virtually, and she was just outstanding. So many great ideas. But on her website, she's got like a template for 48 different prompts, and then you would, type them all out. And she sets hers up as like a fact or fib. And she does it really cool because there's like a column that has invisible ink. And so there's a prompt, and the groups have to like pull out the block and say, okay, I got number 12. Now I'm going to go read number 12, see what the prompt says. And now I have to decide if it's fact or fib, like true or false, right? And then after we talk about it with our group, I can highlight the blank space, the invisible text, and it'll tell me the answer. So I think it's really, really cool. But the way I have used it is I change out all of those 48 prompts based on what we're talking about. So when I do this for workshops, if we're studying a text, maybe I'll pull, like if we're doing a book study, I'll pull different quotes from the book or like statistics or like, I don't know, anything that you might react to. And then it just kind of leads to dialogue. So I might use this as a way to get to know students. And again, we don't just get to know kids at the beginning of the year. We do this all year long, right? So this could be a cool thing where you just have a bunch of prompts that are laid out just as like getting to know you things. You could even put in some of those prompts like, what would you rather do? Or would you rather have? Something like that. But a great way to get students interacting, get some language flowing in the room. And I love it because it's a power strategy. I always call it power strategy when it incorporates reading, writing, listening, and speaking, all 4 domains of language. And that is a structure that does that. So I love it. And again, at History Sandoval is her handle on Twitter, Amanda Sandoval. She's fantastic. And then the last one I'm going to share with you is this game here, and it's called Vocabulicious. This is another one I found on Amazon. You know, like when you get like recommendations, like based on what you purchased, you'd probably like this. And it says it's a conversation word game. So I originally bought this and I was like, number one, I really like the name of it because I love that it's playing with words, Vocabulicious. And you get it and you get like these different stacks of things. And they're set up as like an entree, an appetizer, and a dessert. Like, so all the different cards. And they're set up in a way that's like level of difficulty. So I forget how it's laid out. I don't know if the dessert is the easiest or maybe it's the most difficult. I'm not really sure. But if I were to pull an entree, I get a vocabulary word and it gives me examples of what the word means and some synonyms, some antonyms. So it helps me learn this new word and I have to weave it into a conversation that we're all having. So I think there's a lot of cool possibilities to purchasing this game, but also like we could take the structure of this game and make it relevant to the vocabulary that we're working on in class. So again, this one is called Vocabulicious. I think this one would be a good one for higher proficiency students. There we go. But you can find it on Amazon. I think there's a lot of opportunity for some rich languaging moments to happen there. But those were the games that I wanted to share with y'all tonight. So if you have some cool games to share with us to just kind of grow our network, our own toolboxes of different ideas that we might explore. Pictionary is always a great game. Love, love, love Pictionary. Guess Who is a fantastic game. I believe that Amanda Sandoval on her website has, or on her Google Drive folder, I believe she has a template that is set up for like celebrities, like a celebrity Guess Who. So that could be a cool thing to explore. But you could also like change out those images and incorporate like vocabulary words, dates, places, like all of those things that are tied to your content. And I think you could still have a lot of really cool moments for that. The last one I'll share is Heads Up. That's like that app, I think that Ellen DeGeneres created. I remember seeing it on her show. Sometimes I'll share a video clip from that when I do workshops in schools. But basically it's like an app and you download it and then it shows a word to your partner and you have to hold it like this. So you don't see the word, right? You're holding it up like this. And then the people that you're playing with are giving you clues to who that person is or what that thing is. And then you're just guessing, right? And then when you get it right, you go down and up and then it gives you a new thing. But you don't have to download the app. You could just grab like Post-its and like lay out all the, you know, like all the terminology or the events or the dates or whatever it is that you're working on, vocabulary words, and you can play that with students too. So many great possibilities. But again, as we approach winter months, this is a great time of year, I think, to look at how we can be more playful and incorporate gaming to strengthen and stretch the languaging of our students in our spaces. So that is all I have for you tonight. I look forward to seeing many of you at the Multilingual Illinois Conference early in December, and I will be back next week with another episode of Wind Down Wednesday. Hope you're all having a great week. Take care.